The moment my boss looked at me with nervous eyes and whispered, "Tonight, I need you to pretend you're my boyfriend." My heart skipped in confusion. I thought she was joking, but the way she held her breath, the tension in her shoulders, and the faint tremble in her voice told me she wasn't. That single request would turn an ordinary evening into the most unforgettable night of my life.
You're watching SK Stories, where powerful stories of kindness, courage, and second chances remind us that even a small act of compassion can change someone's life. If you believe kindness still matters, hit the like button, share this video with someone who needs it today, comment below, and subscribe to SK Stories for more inspiring stories.
Coffee. I came from a small town where opportunities were rare, so when I got the job in the city, I treated it like a second chance at life. I worked late nights, double-checked every report, and tried my best to stay invisible. My boss, however, was the complete opposite of invisible. Her name was Serena Whitmore. She was the kind of woman people noticed the moment she walked into a room, not just because she was beautiful, but because she carried herself with calm confidence. Her voice was steady, her decisions sharp, and her reputation in the company was legendary. People said she had built the department from the ground up before she was even 35. To someone like me, Serena Whitmore felt untouchable. She existed in a completely different world, one of board meetings, luxury dinners, and high-profile clients. But that evening, as we stood inside an elegant restaurant filled with soft music and glowing lights, she looked different, vulnerable. The restaurant was one of those places where everything felt expensive. White tablecloths, sparkling glasses, and quiet conversations echoing under tall ceilings. I had never been anywhere like it before. Serena had invited me earlier that afternoon, telling me there was an important client dinner, and she needed someone from the team there. I assumed I would just sit quietly, take notes, and leave. But then she turned to me near the entrance and said those words, "Pretend you're my boyfriend tonight." At first, I thought it was some strange corporate joke, but Serena quickly explained. Her ex-fiancé, a wealthy investor named Marcus Hale, would be attending the dinner with several potential clients. Their relationship had ended badly months earlier, and tonight would be the first time they saw each other again. Marcus had always believed Serena depended on him, that without him, she would fall apart. She didn't want him to see her weak. She didn't want him to think he still had power over her. And somehow, for reasons I still didn't fully understand, she chose me to stand beside her. Maybe it was because I was someone Marcus had never met. Maybe it was because I looked ordinary enough to not threaten anyone. Or maybe Serena simply needed someone she trusted to stay calm. Whatever the reason, I agreed. The moment we walked into the dining hall together, Serena slipped her arm gently through mine. That single gesture felt strangely powerful. People turned their heads slightly as we passed. I could feel the quiet curiosity in the room, but Serena remained composed. Her posture was straight, her expression calm. And then, I saw him. Marcus Hale sat at a large table near the windows, surrounded by well-dressed investors. He was tall, polished, and carried the confident smile of someone who had never been told no in his life. When his eyes landed on Serena, the smile disappeared. Then his gaze shifted to me. I could almost hear the silent question in his mind. "Who is this guy?" Serena squeezed my arm lightly, almost like she was reminding me to stay strong. We walked to the table together. The dinner began with polite introductions and business talk. At first, everything seemed normal. Conversations about market trends, investment strategies, and upcoming projects filled the air. But underneath it all, there was tension. Marcus kept glancing at Serena and me. He asked subtle questions. "How did you two meet? How long have you been together?" Each time, Serena answered smoothly, her voice calm and confident. She described our relationship as if it were completely real. She even mentioned small details: weekend coffee walks, movie nights, shared hobbies. I played along, adding a few comments here and there. To my surprise, the act didn't feel awkward anymore. It felt natural. As the evening continued, I noticed something about Serena I had never seen before. Despite her strong exterior, she was nervous. Every time Marcus spoke, her fingers tightened slightly around the glass in front of her. Every time he made a subtle remark about their past, Her eyes flickered with something deeper than anger. Pain. That realization changed something inside me. This wasn't just a game for her. This night mattered. So I leaned a little closer to her, placing my hand gently over hers for a moment. A small gesture, but it made her shoulders relax. Marcus noticed. His expression darkened slightly. At one point during the dinner, he leaned back in his chair and studied me carefully. Then he laughed quietly and said something that made the entire table fall silent. He suggested that Serena had always been attracted to temporary distractions whenever things got difficult. It was the kind of comment designed to embarrass her in front of everyone. For a split second, I saw the hurt flash across Serena's eyes. And that's when something unexpected happened. Instead of staying quiet, I spoke. Not loudly, not aggressively, just calmly. I told Marcus that sometimes the strongest people are the ones who choose to walk away from relationships that don't respect them. I said that strength isn't about holding power over someone, it's about letting them go with dignity. The table became very quiet. Marcus didn't respond. But Serena looked at me in a way I'll never forget. It wasn't just gratitude, it was relief. The rest of the dinner passed more smoothly. Conversations shifted back to business, and the tension slowly faded. By the time dessert arrived, Marcus seemed less interested in provoking Serena, and for the first time that night, she genuinely smiled. Not the professional smile she used in meetings. A real one. After the dinner ended, the guests began leaving the restaurant one by one. The soft music continued playing as waiters cleared the tables. Serena and I stepped outside into the cool night air. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The city lights glowed across the street, and cars moved quietly along the road. Then Serena finally turned toward me. Her confident mask was gone. In its place was something more human. She admitted that asking me to pretend tonight had been a desperate decision. She hadn't expected me to handle the situation so gracefully. She hadn't expected me to stand up for her. But what she said next surprised me the most. She told me that during the evening, she realized something important. Marcus had always made her feel like she needed to prove her strength. But tonight, standing beside someone who simply supported her without judgment, she felt stronger than she had in months. Hearing that made my chest tighten in a strange way, because the truth was, I had always admired Serena from a distance. Not because she was powerful or successful, but because she worked harder than anyone else in the company. Because she treated every employee with respect. Because even when things were difficult, she never gave up. And tonight, seeing her vulnerability made that admiration even deeper. We stood there under the soft glow of the streetlights. Two people from completely different worlds sharing an unexpectedly honest moment. Before leaving, Serena looked at me with a small smile and said something that would stay in my mind long after that night. She said that sometimes life creates strange situations to reveal the people who quietly stand beside us when we need them the most. Then, she thanked me. Not as an employee, but as a person. If this story touched your heart or reminded you that even small acts of kindness can change someone's life, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel so more emotional stories can reach people who need them. And before the story ends, I have a special request for you. Comment below and tell us, have you ever helped someone during their most vulnerable moment? Because sometimes the smallest support can become the most unforgettable memory. That night, I thought I was just pretending to be someone important in Serena Whitmore's life. But as I walked home through the quiet streets of the city, I realized something beautiful. Sometimes the roles we pretend to play reveal the truth we were too afraid to see. And sometimes, a single evening can quietly change two lives forever.